all right. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Hey. There we go. See if the tree tennis shoes are being distributed. What are we talking about? Tree tennis shoes? Free tennis. Wait, are you saying free tennis shoes? Where are you running? What's going on in Texas? What are you doing? Dame Celestine and Troll. Queen of the Stars and Troll. Greatest of all time. Copied forever and ever. Just a point of this, look. Xana's final hours raise more questions than answers. Oh, yeah. You think? Hey, guys, that was 2 hours ago. Hey, guys, how many times have we covered Xana and Ethan's final hours? I don't know. 1 million? Welcome, Satire. Didn't we just say, like, I don't know, 10 months ago? Maybe even less? I don't know. Isn't this Moscow's greatest mistake? Ethan and Xana? Didn't we just cover that? Months and months and months ago. Copied to death. And we're bringing up this question now? Anyway, that's just a small example of the greatest of all time being copied. Gee, you think? We've been through the timeline. Baby. We've been through the timeline, baby. Good afternoon. Yeah. We talked about, major themes in this case, and how those never changed. Even with all the shit coming out now, still, the themes remain. You know, the ones we identified almost a year ago. Okay. But anyway, people like this shit. They want to keep going back to this shit. Even though we talked about this at length. And actually much more entertaining fashion. Anyway, let's not perseverate on the negative. Tuesday, we're not perseverating on the negative. Right, guys? Right. Good. We're not perseverating on the negatives. That's right, baby. We are looking forward positively. Right. Good. Well, how is everybody? Welcome, White Rabbit. Again and again and again. Around the fence we go. Around the fence. Out in the great meadow of Dandelion, we traipse off into the great Dandelion meadow, falling down holes. What do you think about that? What's going on, people? It's Tuesday. Aaron, Hey guys, we can do some role play. You guys can be Aaron. So the guard, you're like Aaron, right? So you say, Master Nature, And then I could play the role of the prime suspect. What do you think? We should do some role playing, guys. Remember, it's bingo night for Tyrone. Let's not harass him too much. Yeah, please. I am not in a goddamn mood for this. You know what happened on Tuesday, every goddamn Tuesday. So don't harass me too much, all right? Just don't. Anyway, aha. Now remember, Garden, your job is aha. Remember, this is some hard-hitting questioning, hard-hitting interrogation going on here. Welcome, Mantra. We're in the middle of a role play. Every time Aaron says, aha, that's the Garden. You, Aaron and the Garden are you. You're one and the same. Uh-huh. Get good, Mantra. That's great. See, you picked it up. You picking it up. Okay, and then I play the part of the Prime. It's my favorite part to play, by the way. She's the greatest part to play in the world. Yeah. Now remember, also, not only are we doing a role play, we're also taking a shot every time we hear Dylan Mortensen say the word like. So I guess by the end of this live, you and I should be pretty plastered, I'm guessing. If you drink. Now, if you don't drink, then sips whatever you sip, coffee or whatever you're drinking there. I don't know what you're drinking, but good. Okay, good. All right. Hey, we could say this in many different ways, like, like, boy, where's the straitjacket? Hey, Ned, where's the straitjacket? Remember? Brett Payne, I know you got a bulbous head, but can you bring the straitjacket right now? Okay, can you bring the straitjacket? Thank you. I've been waiting 3 days for you to be bringing me a straitjacket. We're actually 3 weeks at this point. So whatever. Good. That's what we're going to do. Good. I'm glad we figured that out, guys. Gee, you think Xana's timeline's messed up? Nah. What gave you that idea? Seriously, how many times on this channel have you and I covered Xana and Ethan's timeline? Oh, I don't know, 35 to 50? Huh? Good. Then if that's the case, Dame, then we need to sail for Tortuga and take any boats, the gold in the boats that come along, and just take them over. Like true pirates. Like true pirates. Right. Yeah, seriously. I mean, when I see this kind of stuff, it's just like, give me a fucking break. Like, look at this. This is 2 hours ago, guys. Look, 2 hours ago. And look at the question we're posing. Nah. Okay. The greatest of all time. Most copied of all time. Anyway, quick break. Hey, wait till these smart people start saying quick break in their fucking videos. Oh my God. Well, they will eventually. I am the greatest. Always been the greatest. be fun. We could pillage the open seas, slip by the Navy, which doesn't seem that hard to do. Anyway. What really happened the night Nancy Guthrie was abducted? Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let's go. Let's go. Aaron. The garden, the garden. Huh? Right, this is Dylan, right? We know Dylan. We're getting to our grand jury stuff. Where are we at? We're at 99 and 145. Oh, dear. So, yeah, listen to this beauty. I'm sorry, I'm the prime. And then I just closed and locked my door. Oh, garden, this is your part. Tell me how you were feeling at that point. Well, I was just kind of freaked out because I wasn't like, there we go. What are we doing? I wasn't like, I was freaked out. But, okay, I wasn't like worried, right? Like, I was just like, and watched the whole bottle of tequila evaporate within 5 minutes. Like, I was just like, the thought of someone being in the house just freaks me out. But I wasn't like freaking out. Okay. Right? Okay. Like, I wasn't like, welcome, Terry Lynn. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I need to call 9. We almost forgot the last 2 numbers there, guys. I need to call 911. Didn't come to my mind at all. Obviously. Now, hey guys, where's the obviously part? Now, that's one of Dylan's favorite words, by the way. So why didn't she say, oh, I wasn't like, oh, I need to call 9. Obviously, 911. Didn't come to my mind at all. See, that would make more sense in Dylan's lingo. I was just like, we're just going to wait it out. We're going to wait out the murders, guys. That's what we're doing. Welcome, Ashley Brogdon. Hey, you're one of the best. You got the best. We're talking about the Prime. The Prime is my specialty, my loves. And 77, the Holy Grail. Yep. And the Hobbit. And just about almost everything else. But anyway, except the audio. And except all the audio shit. But anyway. I was just like, we're just going to wait these murders out. Oops. We're going to wait it out until all the violence is over with. The perpetrators leave, including a few of the people I know. We're just going to wait it out down in the Hobbit's room. Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what she's saying here, guys, in my opinion. That's what she's saying. We're going to wait out the murders. Why else would you say this? Why else would you say this? What are you waiting out? What are you waiting out? Right? So if you're a good homicide detective, you're going to say to yourself, what is she waiting out? The murders? What are you waiting it out? What are you waiting? What are we waiting it out here for? For what? Remember, there's nothing going on here, according to Dylan and Bethany, right, that would cause them to call 911. So, what are you waiting out? After everybody's done fucking screaming and dying? Is that what we're waiting out? That's exactly what I think Miss Mortensen is referring to here, my friends. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Otherwise, this doesn't make any sense. What are you waiting out? The perpetrator, according to Dylan Mortensen, she thinks left through the sliding glass door. So what are you waiting out for 8.5 fucking hours? What are you waiting out? See? People in denial. What are you waiting out? You're waiting out the murders. And knowing that you're waiting out the murders, these two fucking people should have been in jail. They know exactly what's going on. They know exactly what's happening in this house, especially Dylan Mortensen. She knows exactly what's going on. And again, the first crime is, well, not only did you participate in the murder of your friends, but you also did not call 911 right after this happened when you knew you should have. That's another felony. That's another crime. Yeah. And Moscow chooses to sweep all this under the rug and proceed like this is totally acceptable. I guess in a crime of this fucking magnitude. Sure. Well, hey, do we have to, you know Moscow. You already understand the dynamics there, the Palouse inbreds. You already got that dynamic. Good. That's going to help you figure this out. Okay. Yeah. Again, Moscow should never, ever have been involved in this case. Period. Nope. At all. Unless to be lackeys. Unless they were going to be lackeys. Hey, get me some fucking coffee, would you? Otherwise, these people should never have played any part in this fucking case. Right? Yep. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to wait out the murders, okay, guys? We're waiting out the murders. Like, he'll be fine. Now, listen to this. Like, he'll be fine. Like, he'll just go. Like, it will, like, inaudible here. We'll leave, Yeah. Look at Mrs. John. Well, yes, exactly, Ashley. Yeah, like, he'll be fine. My friends will be fine. The perpetrators, they'll be okay. Like, they're going to go. He'll go. Like, it will, like, we don't know what that is. We'll leave, like, we'll just leave. We will leave, guys. We'll leave. Not the guy is going to leave, but we are going to leave. Right? Her friends, the people she knows in the house doing this. That's what she's talking about here, guys. She knows exactly what's going on. She knows exactly what's happening. She knows how many people are in the house. She knows who these people are. She knows she's not going to be hurt. She knows all she has to do is go to the Hobbit's room, stay there for a while until everything that's happening in this house happens, and they eventually leave. That's exactly what she's talking about here. Think about that's exactly what she's saying. Yeah, they're going to leave at some point because we don't say we're going to leave if there's only one of us. Unless you're fucking ridiculous and retarded. You're not going to say, well, we're about to leave now, and it's just you. Right, Mortensen? You fucking twisted Mormon? Oh my God. Can we ship her back to Salt Lake City? Salt Lake City, here I come. I mean, can we ship the Prime back to Salt Lake City is the question. And let the Latter-day Saints deal with this wacko. Wow. Maybe that's what needs to happen here. She needs to be shipped back to fucking Salt Lake City and let the Mormons fucking deal with her. I don't fucking know here. Yeah, well, I know that that'd be horrible, but I'm just saying. I mean, it'll probably fuck her up even more than she already fucked up, but because you throw on that religious delusion element to everything, and that just exacerbates everything. Anyway, The Bigfoot would be extremely confused at that point. Holy shit. Yeah, we'll leave, you know. Oh my god. Welcome, Sick Mad. Welcome, Mama's Boy and Sick Mad World. That's right. All right, so let's carry on a bit. We are at 99. All right, so Aaron, this is the garden. That we need a garden, boys, right? Or I should switch to a better streaming, that's one of my goals. Anyway, tell me, hey, Prime, tell me what you're thinking, because I know you said a little bit of like, oh no, oh Aaron, come on, don't you do it. A little bit of like, a few times that you were freaked out, but not worried. Oh God, like she's gonna parse that out. Yeah. And like, oh, Aaron's just like Dylan Mortensen. And like, tell me what you kind of just like in your mind. Oh my God. Oh my God. And like, tell me what you kind of, Dylan cuts her off, just like, tell me what you kind of in your mind, what was going on. Okay? Don't cut me off, Prime. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Okay, just heard it. So this is redacted. There's a cutoff here. Just heard it. So this is cut off. So it's Aaron, but then it jumps to Dylan mid-sentence here. So this is Dylan, the Prime. So Dylan, just heard it, and I just went blank. Just heard what? So that's cheeky, right? They cut part of Dylan's response here. They cut that out. So Dylan, the Prime, heard something here. She says, just heard it, and I just went blank. What did you hear? Like nothing else happened. What did you hear, Dylan Mortensen? The murders? Welcome, Isle of Shoals. Right? Yeah. All right. All right. Wait a minute. Whoa. What happened here? All right, got it. Freaked out. Tell me what you were thinking. Blah, blah, blah. And like in between seeing, like from seeing, like, I saw my friends when I opened the door, like looking at the stairs. You can't see the stairs from this position. And like looking at the living room, again, you cannot really see the living room from Dylan Mortensen's bedroom. You have to be outside of your room. Shutting my door is like I don't like. Besides, like looking at my door. Now Dylan is looking at her door. I don't remember anything else besides looking at my door. Like I just blocked. Like everything is just like I don't know what happened between those times. Oh my fuck. Yeah. She's telling you what she's doing. Wow. Like I just blocked, I blocked people from escaping from the room. But I don't know what happened in between those times, though, that we're talking about. I really don't know what's going on. But I do remember waiting for my friends to clear out of the house when I was down in the Hobbit's room. I definitely remember waiting for that to happen, for them to go after cleaning up or trying to clean up stuff. I do remember that. And I do remember during the participation of the murders, I do remember blocking the entranceway, probably to Xana's bedroom, for her to try to escape, because I was right there in the hallway. I wasn't in my room, guys. I wasn't in my room at all. And this nonsense about opening a door, closing the door, opening a door, that's all nonsense. That never happened. Never. Never happened. People in denial, I'm telling you right now, I am the greatest. That never happened. Mortensen was standing in Xana's hallway. She was in the kitchen, and she was in the kitchen. She was in the living room, the kitchen, and Xana's hallway, if not in her bedroom itself. Yep. Absolutely. She is telling you certain information that would be impossible if she just stood and opened her door. She's lying to you. We saw the pictures from Dylan's bedroom, okay? Looking out from her bedroom. You cannot see a whole lot. You have to physically leave the bedroom, walk down the hallway, and pretty much stand there looking into the living room. The kitchen is on your right-hand side. You'll have a clear view of the kitchen, and you'll have a clear view, the living room's right in front of you. And in order to see what's going on, you will have to be standing directly in the living room area, not right outside your bedroom door. It's not possible. Mortensen is a liar. She is a liar. She's a liar, and she's a liar. The prime always lies. She'll give you, again, what does the prime do? She'll give you bits and pieces of information that happen that are accurate, okay? But it's piled on top of a bunch of her bullshit and delusion. And that's on purpose. That is on purpose. These mental blackouts, okay? These mental blackouts that Mortensen seems to, have about 1,000 of them that night. This is on purpose, guys. We know this. All these mental blackouts that Mortensen had that night, this is on purpose. Nobody has 100 mental blackouts, okay, on the night that 4 of their roommates are murdered. No, it does not happen. And remember, Dylan Mortensen is not in any trauma. She doesn't have any trauma. She denies trauma. And not only does she deny trauma, she even denies having any psychiatric problems up until this event. So people on the other side of the wall, you are out of your fucking mind, and I can't help you. You have to break through your denial. Moscow, you're sad, little inbred town. You are, very much so sad. And I encourage everybody considering university never to go to Idaho, ever. This is the kind of shit and people you're going to be fucking dealing with. Yeah, it will make you mad in about 30 days. At least it would make me mad in 30 days. I'd be going out of my mind if I had to deal with these kind of fucking people every day. It'd probably turn me into a goddamn, I don't know what it would turn me. It'd turn me into something. Like, boy, this was a mistake. Coming out here. I wasn't worried. I wasn't freaked out. I was just waiting for them to leave. I was waiting for them to finish up murdering the friends, murdering my roommates, while I stood there and supervised, okay? And after it looked like everybody was slaughtered to death and there was going to be no more people fighting, well, then I decided to join the Hobbit and just wait for them to finish what they were doing, get out of the house. That's what Mortensen is saying to you. Absolutely. Because it doesn't make any other sense what she's saying to you, and that's on purpose. That's on purpose. Every interview with her, it goes to the same few points. Okay? Every single one. And they're all on purpose because she's a participant in these murders. Hands down. Whether that's during the active phase of the murders and the cleanup stage of the murders, and then the covering up of the murders. She's definitely involved in at least one of these phases, if not all three. And there's no way around that. There's more evidence to show that than there is to show Brian Koberger is the lone perpetrator of this crime. Yep. And that is the fact, Jack. Well, part of the problem is, I'll tell you why that's part of the problem. One reason why that's part of the problem is because Moscow police never wanted to secure any type of, they didn't want to get his statement. They didn't want to really talk to Mr. Koberger. They didn't want to try to play with him a little bit to try to get him to talk. They didn't want him to talk at all. So that's problem number one. They didn't want Mr. Koberger making any statements. And they made sure that he didn't. That was objective number one out. Well, I should say number one. That was part of the objectives of going out to Pennsylvania, was to make sure that Brian Koberger doesn't make a statement. That makes sense. We don't want Mr. Koberger telling us if he says anything about this crime, we do not want to hear it. We do not want to hear it. Why? Because it's not going to go with our case. That's why. So I just want to let everybody know, when Moscow went out to interview Brian, okay, at the Idaho the Pennsylvania State Police Barracks in Monroe County, their goal was not to get Brian Koberger to talk. That was not their goal at all. That was the anti-goal. That's the anti-goal. And they achieved that goal. I don't know, but I hope her GoFundMe is still frozen. We should look that up. We should look that up. Is her GoFundMe still frozen? It was frozen what, months ago? The account was frozen months ago. Anyway, quick break. Are you intoxicated yet? Give us a treat, though. Treats, though. Ah. Treats, love. Treats, love. Treats, love. Gato. Gato. Gato, gato. All right. Carry on. Act 1 continues. Nancy Guthrie, are you here tonight? Oh, fuck you. All right, thank you. Yeah, you fucking ass, didn't you? Fucking cock. All right. Thanks. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. All right. Nancy's in a mood tonight. So. Nancy's in a mood. What is 115.882? What's that? Welcome, Agree, Mama's boy. Agree, satire. What is 115.882? Welcome, Ellie Ryan. I see you've snuck in here with your other counterpart. Not happy about that, but the war must continue then, I guess. Sometimes you just gotta say no to the God. No, God, no. All right. Where are we now? Sorry. Tuesday, right? Sorry, guys, Tuesday. All right. Good. Well, I hope you like this. Haven't heard this in a while, and we'll get back to it, right? Oh, wait a minute. We did this before. Anyway. What is it? Oh. Yeah, listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. December 6th. Detective Tolson, remember the little imp, handed one of Joe Lake's adult victim questionnaires to Malia Janes, who said Kaylee was not close with her parents and that she and her boyfriend Decour were still on good terms after their breakup. She told police Kaylee fully supported herself, paying for all her expenses while going to college, and that she worked at a Jitters coffee kiosk in Coeur d'Alene, among various other jobs. James told the imp that Kaylee was moving to Austin for a job and had lined up an Alpha Pi sister named Jordan Gwensnell as a roommate. Remember Jordan? It is unclear if Jordan is the person Kayla Wynn might have mistaken as a male. That same day, the U of I student Taylor Zerno told ISP detectives Walker and the imp about campus life as well as family problems they might want to look into. Walker wrote, Zerno did not know Kaylee's mother's name, but Kaylee spoke to Zerno about the fights that she and Christy, her mother, had. Zerno described them as average mother-daughter fights, whatever that means, such as Kaylee needing to pay for her own phone. Right? I'm not sure why that would be a fight, but whatever. When Kaylee... Jeez. Oh, yeah. Everybody's good, though. Was in her freshman year, she did not get along with her mom at all. Gee, that's a shock. Zerno had not met Kaylee's sisters. Zerno said Kaylee and Decour had a very positive relationship. When she would break up with Jack, she never seemed mad about it and would hang out with the sorority sisters more. Zerno described Kaylee as the most down-to-earth person with a contagious smile. Everybody's got a smile. After Kaylee dropped from the sorority, she started hanging out with Pi Phi's more, but the relationship would pick up where it left off when they would get together. Fine. Zerno said Kaylee drank the normal average for a college kid and was not into drugs or abnormally risky behavior. Zerno said Kaylee was studious, a loyal friend who had not expressed discomfort or fear about anyone. She would never be upset when she and Jack broke up, and was always the one to end things because she was bored. At one point when she and Jack broke up, she had an interest in a person called Ethan Runge, who is a U of I student and lives in Coeur d'Alene. Zerno did not know anyone who disliked any of the victims. The mention of Ethan Runge rose to police notice at that point because they had taken a significant interest in Kaylee's dating life and its potential impact on her relationship with Mr. DeCoeur. They found her account on Tinder, for example, and discovered in subpoenaed records 19 different interactions with people on Tinder. On the 27th of November, 14 days after the murders, ISP detectives Tim Hopkins and Derek Brown interviewed Aldair Rojas, Andale Arriba, who told them he was at the corner club with Kaylee, Maddie, and his barrio. No, sorry. Not his barrio. Sorry. Not that. Oh, sorry. Not his barrio. And his girlfriend, Zoe McCormick. Saturday night. Hopkins wrote in ISP Supplement 44, everyone was drinking. They were not using drugs. His friend Mason Barstow had been invited to Kaylee's house the night of November 12, 2022, but he chose not to go to the house. Well, that's interesting. On December 3rd, they interviewed Barstow. Well, that's good. I'm surprised they did that. Who confirmed Rojas' story, as ISP Detective Walker wrote in 62 ISP Supplement. He and Kaylee started talking about a month prior to the homicides. She would come back with him and stay at the frat. They talked on Saturday at that Alpha Phi pregame party where Kaylee apologized to him and wanted to go to the game with him. He already had other plans to go to a sorority formal that evening with Mia Darwood. Oh. Kaylee texted him that night, but he ignored it. Kaylee was pretty drunk on Saturday. She was probably texting others to hang out as well. The texts were through Snapchat, and Snapchat deletes after 24 hours. All right. Police, let's hear those interviews. Police also interviewed Mia Darwood on December 3rd and recorded in the same supplement that she corroborated what appeared to be Barstow's story. She did not attend the formal with him that night. Oh, well, that's different. So what did he do then that night? Oh, well, he was at the corner club, right? Wasn't he? Was he at the corner club? On November 18th, 5 days, ISP detectives Cortez and Chris Pahanka, remember, interviewed Kristen Zoe Wannenberg, good grief, who told them she had been a sorority sister of Kaylee's before she dropped out of the Alpha Phi because of the cost of the dues. Moving quickly to their real interest, Cortez asked Zoe if she knew of anyone Kaylee was romantically involved with after Jack, and Wannenberg named Ethan Runge and a Mason Barstow, who are both Deltas. Lambda. But did not know either of the men and did not have any contact information. So she was kind of playing around with two, perhaps, right? Ethan Runge and Mason. And they're both Deltas. Whoops. But did not know either of the men, did not have any contact information. All right. Of course not. And said she did not believe either of the men would have had anything to do with the homicides. Well, that's good to know. The report filed by Cortez states, Sergeant Cortez asked Wannenberg right, Frankenstein, if Kaylee said anything once her and Jack broke up, or if he would want to hurt her. Kaylee described Jack, now remember, this is where we got into this before. Kaylee described Jack as her kid. Remember her child, baby Huey. Remember, Kaylee described Jack as her baby Huey. And was not a serious guy. He was baby Huey. Right? Right. Good. Jack was in Beta Theta Pi fraternity, and they all hung out together since they lived next door. She described Kaylee and Jack as brother and sister relationship. Yeah. They shared Murphy the dog. Of course. Cortez asked her if she thought Jack would do anything to hurt her, and she believed, of course, he would never do anything to hurt her. Right. Which brings us back to Jack DeCoeur. He and Kaylee had been dating since high school. They lived less than a block from each other in Moscow, and they shared an ownership of Murphy the dog. Of all the people in Kaylee's life, he was almost certainly the one who knew her best. I doubt that. I would say that's Matty Mogan. It's not going to be Jack DeCoeur. No, absolutely not. Due to the complexity of the crimes, police wanted to talk with DeCoeur about Kaylee, although he was never implicated in any wrongdoing and considered a suspect. That is not true. That is not true. Again, Whitcomb, this is like error number 12. He was considered a suspect. Yeah, he was the top suspect for quite a while. Yep. So yeah, he was a suspect. They were waiting, I guess what it appeared to be at first was they were waiting to get back forensic information. And once they saw where that was heading, that's where we stopped. We kind of put a pause on Jack DeCoeur. But Jack DeCoeur has always been a suspect in this case. Yeah. Well, that's why you see on multiple forensic documents that, well, suspect number 1 is Jack DeCoeur. Yeah, because he is. And he was suspect number 1 for a long time. And what happened was here, once they started getting information back forensically and things that they totally ignored and they did not want to test, they ignored those pieces. You know, we already know that, right? The hair in the room, Kaylee, the hair in Xana's room, Ethan's hand, the hair around him. That's true. They didn't test any of that. So here's what happened. They knew where this was going. They had a good idea of I think they had a generally decent idea of the people involved in this. And again, once I think they started to figure, I think they had to divert away from that. They had to divert away from that. They had to. Again, why? Because, again, are you going to destroy your town, okay, for the next 10 years? Are you going to destroy it and follow the truth here? And Moscow, and in terms of political pressure, financial pressure, they had to deviate. They had to. Which, again, this was already a shitty investigation to begin with, which makes it even worse, right? Because now you got to figure out how we're going to deviate. Well, the ISP helped with that. The FBI certainly helped with that. But Thompson called in some favors of the FBI. He tried to strong-arm the defense with the FBI. He tried to strong-arm the defense with the FBI. So Thompson and the FBI, there's a special relationship there between them. And he tried to use the FBI in a lot of circumstances. Well, the FBI took over the DNA. So, and I can almost guarantee that Thompson probably had a hand in doing that as well. So, yeah. Absolutely. Hey, listen, Evil Santa. The DNA is not going the way you want it to. What do you want to do here? I'll figure it out. And here's another thing. All the DNA on the knife sheath, we're not interested in that. We are not interested in all the DNA on the knife sheath, guys. We never were. That's another giveaway here in this case. All the blood on the knife sheath, any DNA on it, we're not interested in most of that. 99% of what's on that knife sheath, we are not interested at all. We don't want to pursue it. We don't want to put other DNA profiles in the CODIS system. We totally reject all that because we don't really care about the sheath. There's only one little piece of the sheath that we care about that we're going to focus on because we know exactly where that piece is going to be. And that's where we ended up. Oh my God, hey, look. What would you believe? We found some DNA on the smallest part of the knife sheath. Forget the rest of the knife sheath, guys. We're not interested in that. There's DNA on the knife sheath. Yeah, but I know, but we don't care about that DNA, guys. That's what they did here. We didn't care about 99% of the knife sheath. Okay, we already knew the knife sheath was a red herring. We already knew that was a red herring. Anyway, whatever. Whether it's found on the floor or found in the bed, it doesn't matter. But we're only interested in one particular area of the sheath, the smallest portion. Okay, that when you think about it logically, the smallest portion on the knife sheath would probably have the least amount of DNA on it. But lo and behold, the genius of Moscow Police Department, come on guys, and the brilliance of the Idaho State Police Forensics, they determined that the smallest portion of the knife sheath had the DNA on it that would solve this case. Can you fucking believe that, guys? The rest of the knife sheath, the huge, gigantic area, the pieces of the knife sheath that would have DNA on it, nah, we don't care about that. Yeah, we may have found other DNA, but did we do anything with it? No. Why? Because that's where the killer's DNA is going to be. So 99% of the knife sheath, guys, we don't want to deal with at all. But we know exactly the space that we want to deal with. Because we know that's going to be how we're going to generate all this. That's the spot. The rest of the knife sheath, forget about it. Forget about it. Yep. Welcome. Play Misty. Anyway, just saying. That's kind of what they did. It's kind of what they did. Again, they are the luckiest. They have to be the luckiest people on the face of the planet. I mean, you have this humongous K-bar knife sheath, but yet you reject DNA you found on it. You reject it. And you only go with the alleged DNA that you found on like one of the smallest portions of the knife sheath. Sure. Guys, that makes sense, right? We reject the DNA found on the sheath itself and the blood, whatever, we don't care about that. I'm just saying the DNA found on the sheath itself, we reject that. And we go with one of the smallest portions of the knife sheath. Oh, okay. Sure. Because that's how it all works all the time. Sure. Yeah. Well, they did buy their own. They did buy their own, Mrs. John. They did buy their own. They bought the knife sheath off the Amazon. They were going to try to use the knife sheath at trial as a prop. I don't know. I think they were going to try to use it as some sort of prop, even though supposedly they had the original one. So I don't know. They also, yeah, they. I thought the purpose of this was to use as props, but I mean, yeah, it doesn't make any sense because you already have the knife sheath, but you don't have a knife. So again, we already been through that. There a million different knives could have caused these wounds, according to the coroner. I'm sorry, the forensic medical examiner in Spokane. There's so many knives that could have created these wounds that, yeah, there's more than one weapon most likely involved in this. That's number one. And number two, again, Kaylee died by multiple different ways. She just didn't die by stab wounds. Yeah, she had multiple different types of injuries on her body, right? And so on and so forth. So, yeah, we already know this. So, again, what does this mean? At trial, the prosecution has no case. That's what it means. Their case, we already know this. Their case is one of the weakest cases for a murder I think I've ever heard almost in my life. It's really weak, guys. I mean, you have no evidence. But I'll tell you what, for one magical reason, and we are the luckiest leprechauns on the face of the planet, because we just happen to find a little bit of DNA in that snap on the knife sheath. We just happen to find that was the magical DNA all along. It wasn't anything to do with the DNA on the sheath itself. It had nothing to do with the DNA that was found inside the house. Nothing to do with any of that DNA, guys. We found the magical DNA in that button snap. Isn't that the luckiest thing you could possibly find? Give me a break, guys. Look, you have to stretch your imagination beyond the galaxy to think that this is absolutely logical and normal. You have to really do some stretching in your mind to think this is normal. To totally ignore all the rest of the DNA evidence, all the blood evidence that was found in the house, evidence of a cleanup that you found in the house. You have to ignore all of that and go with this little sample that you got from the inside of the button snap. And you have to ignore all the other evidence. Okay. To arrive at your lone wolf. It's ludicrous. We know this. That's why this case is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And again, Moscow should never have any part in dealing with this case. They should have been lackeys. They should have been the ones bringing coffee to the real detectives. Even if you have to bring them from outside the fucking state. As long as they're real homicide detectives who know what they're doing, I'd bring them in from a different state if I had to. Yeah. Idaho State Police, they're not much better here. No. I probably would have had to look elsewhere in like a civilized fucking state that knows what they're doing. Yeah. Well, Battle. Oh, Battle, go. Go, Battle. Nope. Nope. Oh, dear. All right. All right. All right. All right. Shadow battle. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. And like, looking at the living room, shutting my door is like, shutting my door is like, I don't like besides, right? Besides, right? I don't know when I closed my door or locked it. I don't remember like anything. I'll be Aaron. Okay. Okay, yeah. Dylan, are you alright? And excuse me. And I just saw the figure walking by, but there was no sound to the figure. Your roommate's getting murdered, you mean like the voice, or after like you like intruder, guys? Listen to this, guys. I saw the intruder at least 3 times in the house. 3 times. Separate times. All right. Are we stuttering? Yeah, too many fucking tabs open. Is it still stuttering? Is it stuttering still? Yeah, basketball jersey. Okay. Hang on. And was that before you heard your voice in your head, or after, or so like when I saw the figure the 3rd time, that was the 3rd time, guys. So it was after I heard the voice. Oh, okay, Dylan. Hey, where's that fucking? I need Thorazine and a straitjacket, guys. Where is it? Okay. Oh, it was the 3rd. Oh, that was. Okay. That was the 3rd time I had opened my door up. Oh, okay. And so you open your door 3 times, and then, like, the first 3 times you opened the door, you saw the fucking killer? You saw the killer. Is that right, Dylan Mortensen? You fucking psycho Mormon? Okay, and I had to open my door very... Listen to this, guys. I had to open my door very open. Okay. And for some reason, I don't. This is like where that dream comes in. This is where my psycho dream comes in, guys. Like the running. I don't remember if I had thought. I don't remember if at that point that's when I thought it was a fireman or not. I don't know why I thought fireman. Oh my God. Okay, hey, if there's a petitioner out there listening, please, please come forward. Oh my God. Hey Dylan, is your GoFundMe account frozen still? I hope to God. It's frozen. Oh my God. Oh wow. Aaron. Well, yeah, that's MD, right? Oh, okay. Oh my God, get me out of here, guys. But I remember saying, no, no, no. And just slamming the door and locking it. Oh, and that's something that you remember happening? Actually, I mean, like, you weren't like psychotic? Not in a dream? Yeah, sure. That's what I remember actually happening. Right? Oh, God. Maisie, why do you do this to me, Maisie? Maisie, did you set me up to read this? Oh my God. Maisie. You're cruel and vindictive, Maisie. Cruel and vindictive. Yeah, dog. What's up, dog? Oh my God. Oh my God. No, no, no. And I just, so you said no, 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 and then you slammed your door and locked it? Okay. All right, guys. Oh my God. Yeah, because this is totally believable. Oh my God. On what planet is this believable? I mean, seriously. Idaho planet. This is believable. Holy God. Oh my God. I mean, seriously. That is horrible. Horrible. Jesus Christ. Wow. Wow.
Learned of the plea deal, Kenny Whitworth sat down with the family of one of the victims, Ethan Chapin.
Homicide that thrust the story of Ethan
No.
He deserves it.
Master Nature.
He deserves
our
story of
man.
This morning, as the Idaho murder suspect prepares to accept a plea deal, the family of Ethan Chapin speaking publicly together for the first time since Ethan, his girlfriend Xana Kernodle, and her roommates Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez were brutally murdered.
Hey dog, what's up, dog?
At the University of Idaho.
Hey dog.
I miss him every day.
Oh no, not Jim.
Your son at 20. You know, it's
What's the matter with you, Mom?
it's a different loss.
Yeah, Jim. How's your sedation going? Hey, Jim, how's your sedation going? All right. You're sedated, Jim.
Ethan, a triplet with his siblings, Hunter and Maisie,
Sears catalog.
attending the University of Idaho together. Hunter and Maisie and their parents.
Oh, that's the love of my life, guys.
In a new Prime Video docu-series, One Night in Idaho, The College Murders, remembering their
Welcome day, Matt. This is pretty good.
larger-than-life brother and son.
We played every sport.
Here we go. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Partied together. There was never a dull moment.
The night before Ethan was killed, Maisie brought him to her sorority formal.
All right, don't laugh.
She now cherishes the
There we go.
text
Maisie.
sent her before bed.
So he
Hey,
started off by
dog.
texting me. I think he said, "Dog, come hang out. We all want you here." And I said, "I'm going to bed." And then he said, "Love you." And I didn't even respond to that. I think I was asleep by then.
And
Right.
I love you kind of stood out, though.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Hunter pledged
All right, there you go, guys.
says the next morning a friend
Oh, I think we should all go to the University. Guys, we should all go to the University of Idaho. We could get multiple degrees. Yikes! Anyway, just saying, get multiple degrees. Yikes. Maisie, I love you though. Even though you do have poverty language too. I do still kind of love you. But I don't think I could take on Little House on the Prairie kind of shit anymore. Guys, I cannot do Little House on the Prairie anymore. No, you have to speak correctly. You have to have you have to know how to write. And I don't ask for much in a relationship, guys, but ask for no poverty language, and please write correctly most of the time. Okay, that's all I ask. MD doesn't want much out of a relationship. Okay, guys. Oh no, no, no. Oh God, I had two on top of that. Oh God.
And we are partnering with these labs that do genetic genealogy, forensics. They're cutting edge. They're top of the line. They're what's the best of the best.
Why?
And we have teamed up with them as partners, and we are creating an application process for law enforcement to fill out their criteria. And as long as it meets these different labs criteria, they'll send it to us, and they choose the lab. We'll say we're working with these 5 labs, these 6 labs, whatever it may be.
Oh God.
And we get their DNA over to those labs.
Oh God.
And pay for it to get processed. And because we know so many of these agencies are underfunded, and just don't have the cost, the means to be able to get these testings done. And sometimes it could be very simple, and in 48 hours, they can have an answer to the perpetrator who murdered their child, or who abducted their child, or their mom, or their dad. Dear. And it's just as simple as being, not so simple, because it can be quite expensive to be paid for. And we want to step in.
Oh, well, Christy, it's really expensive. And not only that, you mentioned there's our favorite ghoul. I remember a case that we were working on. It was a teacher, a very young teacher. Her name was Eliza Fletcher, I think, out of Memphis, with 2 little children.
Interesting satire. Interesting satire.
One was even younger.
I wonder if that had anything to do with anything.
4 a.m. for a jog, because being a mom,
gotta call on 911 about someone throwing away an animal.
It doesn't rob time away from you and your children. So she's out at 4 a.m. Of course, people said it's her fault because she was out in the dark running. That said, the guy that murdered her, guess what was sitting on the shelf?
What?
At the crime lab?
A bottle of bourbon.
His DNA in a previous violent. Turned out he had a history. He had attacked people before, in addition to that. But had that been analyzed and he prosecuted on that, he would not have been roaming free to murder this young mom, this school teacher, Eliza Fletcher. So it's not just the money, it's the timing. The timing. There's a huge backlog. And we were talking earlier about the Lover's Lane case that was just cracked after 36 years. One of the worst murders that goes down in Houston. Very quickly to Andy Kahn joining us, Director of Victim Services at Crime Stoppers Houston.
Every crime is the worst crime. Every crime is the worst crime.
Murder Has a Name. I ask you to please go to it. People death scroll all day long. Well, look at Murder Has a Name while you're scrolling and learn what you can do to make a difference in this world. Andy Kahn, I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, we had to do something, didn't we? Anyway, hopefully those types of these types of charities, I hope they're thoroughly investigated for fraud. So give this a year, but I want this foundation thoroughly investigated for fraud. Yep. I mean, do you trust the Goncalves to run this organization? Do you trust them to have DNA shipped to their organization and then shipped off to a lab? I don't. Nope. I don't know. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're doing, why they're... I don't know. But anyway, with an organization with these characters like that, you need some very strong auditing of that type of organization. And probably, my guess, a year or two, you're going to find fraud. I would guess my money on that one. Absolutely. With these kind of characters, with these types of characters that we're dealing with, it would not shock me in the least. Welcome, Caroline Wood. I wouldn't trust them with anything. Anyway. Whatever. This is the way, this is a route to make money. This is a route to make money, is what it is. Let's be clear about this. This is a route for them to make money. They can be in charge of this, whatever you want to call it. But you can also pay yourself for being in charge of this foundation. You could pay yourself money from it. Just saying. So let's make that clear. This is a route for them to make money. And that's they are not doing, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you want to be on the other side of the wall, they're not doing this for free. Okay? No. I can almost guarantee they're not doing this for free. They're not doing this in the kindness of their own fucking hearts. No. These characters, Christy and Steve, these kind of characters, they are not altruistic like that. They are not altruistic characters, friends. No. So let's make that very clear. This is a way to make some money. You can be in charge of your own foundation. You can draw, as far as I know, you can probably draw a salary for maintaining this. So yes, you can make money off of this. Of course. That's why people have foundations sometimes. So anyway, let's get that clear. So, and because of people in things like this, there needs to be a strong auditing of the books. How much money's coming into the foundation? How much is going out? Where is it going to? Is it actually going to? Is most of the money going to all this DNA stuff or what? So anyway, strong auditing needs to happen with Christy and Steve's little foundation they want to play here. We need strong auditors on that one. Because my guess is a year or two, you're going to see some interesting things. Is my guess. Oh, like, wait a minute. How comes only 40% of the money you're taking in is going to the DNA? And how comes the rest of it seems to be going elsewhere? Weird. But I could see that happening very clearly with these people. They're opportunistic, that's number one. They're very opportunistic. They've always been. Ever since Kaylee was murdered, they have been opportunistic at every turn, every corner. They have been opportunistic. That's number one. That's reason number one. None of the other families acted like this to this degree. However, the Chapins have, especially, of course, beware of Mrs. Chapin. But not to this degree of opportunism. No, that is Steve and Christy. They are the opportunists. I should say, Mrs. Chapin, she's also an opportunist. Absolutely. But she's more of a shadow sort of opportunist, in certain ways. She did write a book. I gotta say, she did write a book. So that's pretty blatant. You want to talk about opportunism. That's pretty blatant to write a book about your dead son. So she's an opportunist. Don't get me wrong. She is. She lays low, but she does lay low more than the mutts. The mutts have never laid low throughout this entire case. At least the Chapins, at least Stacy has some sense to lay low once in a while. But not the Chapins. Not the Gonzalez. They've always been opportunists. Always. Yep. Anyway, whatever. Just saying. Welcome, Creamy Rope. Welcome, Dame Sophia, Queen of Wisdom. I hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. Or Wednesday, perhaps, for some of you. Well, we're not that far ahead, are we? No, not yet. Hello, Sir Equinox. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Yes, welcome. Yeah, there's so much with her that... There's so much with her. There's a lot with her. I mean, I don't know, guys. You can't... I understand. You can't always go off... You can't always go off the number of wounds on something. I know that. You can't necessarily go off on that. I understand that. But goddamn. I mean, compared to the other three, now Xana, hey, I'll tell you what. Well, we know. Xana got it pretty fucking bad, too. She got it pretty fucking bad. But I'll tell you what, in terms of creativity and brutality, Kaylee certainly got the worst of it, I think. I mean, absolutely. So, I know you can't just go off of that in terms of drawing a suspect, but, I'll tell you what. I don't think that's something you can ignore in this case, though, either. You can't ignore that. But Moscow and Idaho State Police, they ignored that. They ignored that information. So but this particular case itself, you cannot ignore that. You cannot. Not with this one. Not with this one. This one is personal, as we know. This one is personal. And it's right around the doorstep. That's what this is. We already know. We know that. Now, you have to think to yourself, could somebody like a Jack DeCour completely snap, right, and inflict that much brutality on, let's say, Kaylee and Maddie themselves? Or just even Kaylee, Could a Jack DeCour person type that we know about, what we know of him at this point, we don't know him personally, of course, but could somebody like that snap and do what he did, do what happened to Kaylee? So you have to be able to answer that question, though, in your mind. Could a Jack DeCour do that to Kaylee? That's a hard question. Maybe, I don't know, but he would have to snap. There'd have to be a snapping point here. And not only that, but then you have to lose complete control over yourself. I mean, you must have so much anger and rage pent up in you towards this person that You know, in this moment, you cannot control yourself at all. And it doesn't matter. In fact, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's just, I'm doing what I'm doing. And, yeah, no, it doesn't matter how I'm doing it, really. But I'm doing it. And it doesn't stop for a bit, for a little bit. So you got to think to yourself, though, could somebody like Jack DeCour have the propensity to lose control like that and just snap? I don't know. It's a hard question because he should be one of the primes. He should be. You know, he is the X. And he didn't take that last breakup as well as people think. So he had the means, he had the motive, and he had the method. He had the proximity. Okay. So you would think, yeah, this guy probably would be at the top of the list. And he was. He was at the top of the list for a while. I don't know. Could baby Huey finally snap and just say fuck it all and just destroy his ex-girlfriend? Not only destroy his ex-girlfriend, but then, then slice up Maddie Mogan right next to her. He had to slice her up. I don't know here. I know it's difficult. It's like you had to try to picture these fucking characters like moving around the house. It's like, I don't know, maybe. But difficult one. I think with him, I would say he knows a lot more than what he absolutely told police. He can't explain for that 17-minute phone call that he had with Kaylee. He can't explain that. He just says he doesn't remember, that is not a good reason. Moscow police, you fucking inbreds. Idaho State Police, you're fucking inbreds, because that is not a good answer to the question. Well, you had a 17-minute phone call with your ex-girlfriend about 20 minutes before she was fucking brutally murdered, and you don't know, you don't remember that at all. That is not a good answer. in any realm in the universe, that is not a good answer. Not in this kind of case. That is not a good answer at all. That's a horrible answer. So again, if this was a real homicide investigation, you're going to push back against that and say, what do you mean you don't remember? I mean, it says here on your phone that you had a 17-minute fucking phone conversation with her. And you're telling us that you don't remember having this conversation, Jack? Well, yeah, dude. Well, Jack, that ain't good enough, man. That ain't good enough, my friend. This is a very serious case. Your girlfriend was brutally slaughtered. And you're telling me you can't remember a 17-minute fucking phone call you had with her? I mean, it's that easy, guys. It's really that easy to push. But as you and I see and know, this is not a real homicide investigation. These are not real homicide detectives. And why it sounds so crazy is because there's no clarification, there's no follow-up, there's no pushback, there's no interrogation, there's nothing of that. So that it makes it sound even worse than it is. It is that bad. It really truly is. I mean, we're not even asking the basic follow-up. We're not even basically pushing back. We're not even a basic manner pushing back. Like, hey, Jack, that sounds kind of odd that you wouldn't remember having a 17-minute phone conversation with your ex-girlfriend who just happens to get murdered that night. I mean, Jack, hey, I know you're trying to help us out here, but that seems very strange to me, man. I mean, that's all you really have to say to this guy. And then you see what he tells you. Right, Moscow, Idaho State. I seriously, me and my garden are for hire. We charge $100,000 every 3 months. Okay, that's our fee. But we will teach you how to interview people. We will teach you how to especially interrogate people. We will teach you all these things. Okay, $100,000 for the first 3 months. You got to hire us on for 3 months. $100,000 a piece. But if you like us, you keep us on for another 3 months at $125,000. We have to up our fee. I'm just saying, it would help you out a great deal. This case, you got extremely lucky because you were dealing with somebody who was essentially poor and who had no financial mechanism to defend themselves properly. So you whether through luck, I think it's part of it, and also through planning, you decided upon somebody who just lo and behold didn't have any fucking money to their name, really. I mean, that's a major coincidence again there, isn't it, guys? You know, it's so strange how we just happen to find a guy who is not, he's not rich. He doesn't come from Coeur d'Alene. He's not a rich guy. He doesn't come from a rich background. We just happen to find this guy who has no money to defend themselves. Problem. We got lucky on that one too, guys. We just got lucky on that one. Okay, it couldn't be Jack DeCoeur or anybody related to the sororities or frats because they're all connected with each other, and most of these people have money. Most of them do. Most of these families have money. So, depends. Now, you know Mr. Thompson. You know Evil Santa Claus. He is not going to go up against a wealthy family in Idaho. Oh, no. Do you think he's going to do that? Absolutely not. Evil Santa Claus is not stupid. He is evil, but he's not stupid. And so you're not going to go up against a family who has a lot of wealth behind them. You're not going to do that. You are going to be taking on, you don't want to take that on. You rather take on somebody who has no money, who comes from a relatively poor background, and they certainly do not have money to pay for a robust defense team. So, yeah, you got real lucky there, Evil Santa, didn't you? I mean, Evil Santa, I'll tell you what, he's a very lucky Evil Santa Claus. Isn't that amazing? Santa Claus, even evil Santa Claus gets lucky. Wow. I find that odd. Right? Nah. No. Nope. We are not taking on anybody who's wealthy. Are you kidding me? we would be exposed for how terrible a prosecutor we are. Thompson never wanted to go to trial. First of all, he didn't have the stamina for it. Ashley's a complete fucking retard, as we know. She's a Down syndrome victim. Sorry, MD. It's okay. She is. I'm not, but she is. She does have the same face that I do, but remember, guys, I don't have Down syndrome. Now Ashley does, okay, but I don't. She just happens to have the same face that I do, guys. I can't change my face, guys. I can't change it now. It's too late for MD. Too late for MD to change my face. But Ashley, it's not too late for you. You could change your face, okay? You could change your face. It's not too late. It's never too late. Remember Scrooge? It's never too late to change your face. I love you, Garden. I love you. I love you, Garden. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, Garden. Don't hate me. Why? Why do you hate MD so much? I don't know. Oh no. Mrs. Jaw. You thought I forgot about the war? How dare you? Oh, wait. Did I delete it? Oops. Oh, no. No. Oh, well. Oh, Mrs. John, I deleted what I was going to do. Oh, my God.
Think safety. Think Granger. For trusted...
Anybody got it an idea?
All right, listen.
Hey, Jose got it an idea. Jose got it an idea? Hey, Dallas. Jose got it an idea.
All right, baby.
Tell him what you told me, Jose. Go ahead. Why don't we get this gringo pussycat to chase Speedy out of town? The pussycat? That's good. How you think of these things, Jose? Jose, his wheels, they go click, click, click.
All right. I love you, Jose. That's right. Sometimes the wheels go click, click, click. You know what I'm saying. Oh, my God. All right. Act 2. That was the end of Act 1, guys. That was the end of Act 1. This is Act 2. Act 2 is upon you now. Be prepared. I must prepare you. I must prepare you. I must prepare you. Now listen. Well, oh wait, no, that's not right. That's better. I know what you're thinking. Now I know what you're thinking. Here we go. I know what you're thinking here, but now listen. Now wait. Now where's my subtitle? Right. This is a little better. Yeah, he can play the guitar though, right? Don't forget the vampire. All right. Don't forget the vampires. Hey, don't forget that T-Rex birthday card either, I told you about. Sorry, guys. Open my door a third time. Guys, opened my door a seventh time, and I still saw the man in black. Amazing. Weird how that is. Cheap stuff. What graphic stuff? What graphic? What is graphic, love? What is graphic? Yes, yes, legend and legend. What are you feeling from Kaylee Satire? What are you feeling from her? Yeah. Stomping. I think, and here's another question that was never asked. But think about this, though. Think about this. The question you would ask, again, here's a question you would ask our prime, Miss Dillon, right? Here's a question I'd ask her. I'd ask her this. I'd say, why did you want Kaylee as your +1 for this sorority party on Friday night that was happening? What made you choose Kaylee over just about any other person, right, on your friend roster that you could have asked to be your +1 for this party on Friday night? That's the question I'd ask her. Yeah, good question, eh? Yeah, I think it's a good question. What compelled Dylan Mortensen to ask Kaylee to be her +1 for that party? What compels her to do that? You have to get the answer to that question. It doesn't make sense for Mortensen to invite Kaylee to be her +1 for this party. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason. Kaylee's not in the sorority anymore. That's number one. We already talked about this, I think. Kaylee is not in the sorority anymore. That's number one. That's the first reason, and that's probably the strongest. She has no ties to the sorority at this point. She left the sorority. So she's not in the sorority anymore. So what would compel Dylan Mortensen to invite Kaylee to this fucking sorority party to be a +1? It doesn't work. Doesn't. But they never even asked that question of Miss Mortensen. They never even asked her, well, why would you bother inviting Kaylee when you had the other roommates you could have asked? You could have asked your fucking boyfriend to go with you, Quinn. You didn't ask him to be your +1. Why didn't you ask these other people? Right, Dylan Mortensen? See, nobody asked this. There's no reason for Dylan Mortensen to be asking Kaylee to go to a party with her, guys. We know this. There's no reason. And Moscow never explored any of that, as we know. So yes, it is one of the worst investigations I've ever fucking seen. You can't even ask one of your prime suspects, who should be a prime suspect. You can't even ask them what their motivation was for inviting Kaylee in the first place. Because you have no reason, you have no good reason to invite Kaylee to be your date for some fucking sorority party. You have no reason. There is no good reason for that. She's not in the sorority anymore. First of all, so she has no obligation to go to any sorority parties. So what would make Dylan consider Kaylee the one that she wants to go to the party with? And if everybody else, I mean, we're talking people in the sorority. They're in the sorority. She could have asked the roommates. She could have asked Bethany Funk. She could have asked Zana Kernodle. Or she could have asked Maddie. But she didn't. She purposely chose Kaylee for some fucking reason that nobody asked her. She chose her for a purpose. And it's a huge reason why. And you need to get that fucking answer, Moscow. But they never did. ISP never did. FBI, I don't think they ever, who knows? We don't know what the FBI got. Well, that's true. You're right, CB. Correct me. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. They weren't in the fucking sorority either. It was just her and fucking Bethany. Right, that's true. So, why don't you ask Bethany? Why don't you ask the Hobbit? She ain't doing anything on Friday, apparently. Except going out to the same fucking parties you're going to, pretty much. Why don't you fucking ask Emily Allant to go with you? Why don't you ask Emily Allant? You know, she's a good friend of yours. Why don't you ask Emily to go with you? Right? No, we choose Kaylee, who is not living there on a full-time basis anymore. We choose her for this. Gee, I wonder why that is. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. We talked about this. Dylan, because of this, essentially what happened was she, whether knowingly or unknowingly, and I'm going with knowingly, lured Kaylee back to that house for a specific reason. Yeah, absolutely. You just don't pick Kaylee at random to go with you to some stupid fucking sorority shit on Friday night. You don't pick her at random, guys. You just don't pick her name out of a fucking hat. These people don't do that. You know, there's a reason why she chose Kaylee. A big reason. Huge reason. Yep. Absolutely. And Kaylee, unfortunately with Kaylee is she second guessed herself and she decided, okay, well, I'm going to go because I have other things that I want to do while I'm there. Like, hang out with Maddie and blah, blah, blah. So she convinced herself, yeah, I don't really want to go to this. However, I could do other things in the meantime while I'm there. That's how she convinced herself to go. Unfortunately. And of course, you can't change. If you're able to go back and tell her, hey, Kaylee, you got to listen to your first gut here, your instinct. Yeah, but you can't. But if she would have listened to her first instinct, I think she would be all right at this point. But who knows? I mean, not to say it maybe wouldn't have tried to happen again, but at least for that particular weekend, she would be all right. Yep. So anyway, that's what happened there. That's why she talked herself into going. talked herself into going. It had nothing to do with Dylan Mortensen. It had nothing to do with Dylan. It had everything to do with Maddie and seeing her, I think, and hanging out and spending time. That was her. I think that was her sole reason why she decided to do that. It had nothing. I don't think they wanted anything to do with Dylan Mortensen. They absolutely not. No way. Maddie and Kaylee, I feel, they didn't want really anything to do with her. You know, we saw, especially Maddie. So anyway, if we can kill two birds with one stone, baby, we're gonna fucking do it. That's right. Yeah, you're right, CB. Welcome, Dame Amethyst. I said that before. Welcome, Queen of the Mountain. Yeah, you're right, CB. There's a couple of, we're going to read it, but where, people have, strange feelings and, no, I got a really strange feeling that I didn't want to go over there. We actually, that comes up a few times here. They say, well, I had a strange feeling, and I don't know. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go over there that night. Yeah, we run into that a little bit. Strange. Well, what do you mean you had a bad feeling? So again, we're not following up on any of this. Well, what do you mean you had a strange feeling? What do you think that was? We're not even asking that question. What do you think that strange feeling was about that you had? What was about that? Well, I don't know. I got a feeling that they were all going to be murdered. Who knows? But, we never asked the question. Well, tell me about this strange feeling that you had. What do you mean? What gave you a strange feeling not to go over to the house that particular night? Oh, I don't know. I just got this sense that there was going to be something happening there. Oh, what do you mean? Something. See, but again, these people, they should never have been involved in this case. That's what I keep saying. They're not real homicide detectives. None of these people are. They've never been involved in a case like this in their lives. They should never have touched this case. Yeah, and you see this over and over again. So that's just another example of this. You can't even ask basic follow-up questions to strange things that people are telling you about this crime. You can't even follow up with that. You can't even, wait a minute, well, that sounds a little strange. I think I maybe could probe that a little bit more. Nope, not Idaho. Not Idaho. They're inbreds. Of course not. And they're also corrupt. So, well, yeah, you got a double whammy going on there. Not only are they corrupt, they're also inbred. Yeah, and they've been that way for a long time. Long time. Years. Years and years and years. Oh, yeah. Evil Santa Claus is just one of the many in a long line of succession. Oh, yeah. In my humble opinion, okay, remember, okay, that wasn't in the dream. Oh, sorry, that's Dylan. Sorry, that wasn't in the dream, y'all. All right, but I, the dream keeps getting mixed up. I keep mixing the dream up. Right? But the dream keeps mixing it up. If I thought it was, if I thought it was a fireman or not, I can't remember if I thought the guy was a fireman, but he was wearing all black. And I was like, okay, that makes no sense. is he a fireman? I love you. And when Bethany had like text or called about the fire, I wasn't like, oh shit, there's a fire. Yeah. What fire? You mean the bonfire outside? That fire? What fire are we talking about here? I don't know. You mean the firecracker? The firework? But no, Dylan is talking about a fire, or like an actual fire. What is going on? Oh, right, because that's why I saw the fireman. I saw the fireman because of the fire. Not the firework, but the fire. Okay. All right, guys. I love you. Don't you love our Prime? She's great, isn't she? She gives you everything she wants. Like, is he a fireman? And when Bethany had like texted or called about the fire, right? When Bethany the Hobbit called and texted about the fire, I was like, oh shit, there's a fire. We need to get out. Like, that didn't worry me. Right? Yeah. Let's read that again, boys and girls. And when Bethany the Hobbit, had like text or called about the fire, I wasn't like, oh shit, there's a fire. We need to get out. Like, that didn't worry me at all. Oh, that's good. Isn't that nice, Dylan? Oh my God. So, hey guys, not only am I not worried about my fucking slaughtered 4 roommates that I know happen, I'm not worried about that, and nor am I worried about a fire starting in the house. I'm not worried about that either. Because I know there's no fire being set. I know that. That's why I'm not worried about it. You know? Now, again, what Dylan's doing here is she is trying to camouflage what she knows in her answers. She does this with every answer. Mortensen camouflages every single answer. She's camouflaging. Now, it doesn't take a fucking seasoned detective to know this, okay? But that's what she's doing throughout all of her interviews. She camouflages her responses. That's what she does. That's her MO. And she does that by a few mechanisms. One, in this particular case, she blames it on either being drunk, or a faulty memory, or or we take it to the psychotic realm, and now we don't know what's a dream or what's real. Those are the ways she does this. She does this over and over. Every single answer that Mortensen gives you, she's doing one of these 3 things. That's what she's doing. And she's this is what we call camouflaging. She camouflages every single fucking response. Every single response is camouflaged. Yeah. That's what she's doing. Not only that, but she is one of the worst storytellers I've ever heard. So, not only is she camouflaging all her answers, but she cannot tell a story to save her ass. That's not a good combination. It's not. In fact, that's probably one of the worst combinations. Not only are you camouflaging all your responses, but you cannot tell a coherent story at all throughout this entire timeline, in fact. You cannot tell a coherent story. Nope. Not one bit. So anyway, again, if this was a real homicide investigation, Mortensen, again, would have been locked up. I have no doubt about that in my mind. She would have been locked up. For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely, she would have been locked up. No doubt in my fucking mind. If we were conducting a real homicide investigation here, Mortensen would have been locked up. For sure. Yeah. I have never heard... Now, guys, you know this. You know... Have you ever heard a more convoluted, ludicrous story in all your fucking life? I have never heard one this convoluted in all my fucking life. Again, you have seasoned serial killers who have better stories than this one. I mean, and it sounds compelling. And it's much better than Miss Mortensen's story. You know? And if these people weren't already fucking murderers, you would think they're probably telling you the truth. But this absolutely takes the case in terms of how ridiculous this is. I mean, this is at the top of the list. Oh my God. There is no way around it. And there is no way around it. You cannot get around it. You can't. You can't substitute shit she's saying for other things. So she saw the fucking perpetrator on three separate occasions. She didn't think anything was up. She didn't think anything was strange about people crying or stomping or fucking the dog barking or fucking weird firecrackers and fireworks. She didn't think any of this was strange at all, guys. It didn't worry her. It didn't scare her. She wasn't traumatized by any of this stuff going on. Yeah. So what does that lead you to believe? Well, either she is a sociopath and doesn't care at all about anything in her life or people, or she's a participant. In some fashion, she's a participant in these murders. That's it, baby. You have no other way to go with this. Because a person like this, again, first of all, she's lying to you. She's told multiple lies throughout this interview. Not just this interview, but all the interviews. She's told multiple lies. Multiple lies. She camouflages all of her responses. And that's about all you need. That's it. That's all you need to put her behind bars. She is lying to you. She's been lying to you the whole time. I mean, oh my God. Look, unless you have some severe cognitive impairment, which renders you fucking like retarded for 8 hours of your life, there is no other explanation for why Dylan Mortensen, she has such a faulty brain for 8 hours. She's not mentally retarded. She's not taking hallucinogenics. She's not developmentally disabled. She didn't suffer a brain trauma, did she? No. She doesn't have aphasia, does she? She doesn't have any fucking severe memory cognitive deficits. No. Nor organic deficits. Nothing. So yes, she is your prime suspect. There's nowhere to go here. I'm sorry. People in denial hate people in denial. I get it. It doesn't work. No matter what angle you want to take with Miss Mortensen, you're going to hit a brick wall. You're going to hit a wall. And because you keep hitting a brick wall with Miss Mortensen, you have to realize the reason why you're hitting a brick wall every time with her is because she's one of the suspects. She is, if not the prime. That's why you're hitting that wall all the time. And you don't want to listen to it. People in denial, they'll hit that wall over and over again. And they'll try to justify hitting that wall over and over again. They'll try to rationalize behaviors. They'll try to rationalize what people are thinking in situations. But once you start doing that, you've already lost. I got you. I already beat you. Because this situation doesn't require any of that. This particular situation that we're talking about doesn't require any of that. So what these people in denial like to do is they want to go through all these mental gymnastics to rationalize behavior of Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. They'll go to great lengths rationalizing their behaviors. Yeah. But deep down inside, what they know is they're still not correct. They're not correct at all. And that's where they keep running into problems. See? Yeah. You just can't explain away Dylan's behavior, everything she did that night. You can't explain away that easily. And you cannot do that for the Hobbit either. And you can't. You cannot just explain it away. Especially Dylan. Dylan is telling you what she's doing. She's telling you what she's doing. She's telling you exactly what she's doing here. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She is either standing there observing what's happening. That's for sure. She's also probably, I guess, a participant also, and physically a participant to some degree. And what happens after all this, she goes back down to her bedroom, okay? She does whatever she does before she decides she wants to go down to the Hobbit's room, right? The rest of her crew is still in the house at this point, okay? They're doing what they're doing, and Dylan goes down to the Hobbit's room, and that's where Dylan is going to stay for the rest of supposedly, is going to stay for a great portion of the rest of what happens here. All right? Yep. And also what's happening here is the perpetrators, Dylan's friends, the people she knows, they are still in the house. And the Hobbit almost gives that away. Bethany Funk almost gives that away. Okay? She was cut off in her interview on 11/16 in Reno. Bethany almost gives it away. Bethany says, well, the question was, and you didn't leave your room, right? And Bethany says, she started to say this. The Hobbit started to say, well, I was afraid to leave my room because I was afraid that somebody was going to come and kick the door down. That was her answer. And then right after she started saying that, she was cut off by Moscow police in that interview. She was cut off, and that subject was never revisited. So the Hobbit almost gave it away. She almost slipped. She almost gave the goose away by saying there were still people in the house. The perpetrators or whatever, the people that were doing this, they were still in the house. Dylan also knew this, and I was afraid that if I went out my room, that these people, or Dylan's friends or whoever, right, Dylan's friends, they would come and either come down the stairs and kick the door in, or whatever, or come after me in some fashion. I think that's what was going to happen here. So the Hobbit almost gave it away there, but she was cut off. We should revisit that part in the interview. That's Hobbit's 11/16 interview in Reno. Yeah. And that fits with the prime. That fits with what Dylan is saying here. Dylan knows there's more than one person in the house. She knows that. She told you that on multiple occasions, actually. She knows there's at least, well, she knows who's there. These are part of her friendship groups. She knows there's more than one person. Absolutely. There's 4 people in total, by the way. Anyway, yeah. So she knows what they're doing, and she knows who's being murdered. She knows what's going on. She knows exactly what's happening here. She knows what the plan is afterwards, and part of the plan here is to go and sit down in the Hobbit's room and to stay there. That's part of Dylan's MO. She needs to do that. Dylan needs to do that. Dylan needs to do that. She needs to separate herself from the crime scenes and get herself down to the Hobbit's room. She needs to do that here. She can't just stay in her bedroom. If she stays in her bedroom, guys, I think that makes it look worse for her. And I think she knows that. So she needs to create some sort of thing where she moves from her bedroom down to Hobbit, while the other people are still in the house. And that is what the Hobbit is referring to when she says, I didn't want to leave my room because I was afraid that somebody's going to come and kick the door in. So what does that tell you? That tells you the Hobbit knows that there's other people still in the house. That's what it tells you. And she's not wrong, because there were other people still in the house at this point. So, yeah. So there you go, my loves. We are the greatest of all time. But, yeah, that's what's going on here. Yeah, check out The Hobbit, 1116, and just from what Dylan is telling us right now, it matches up. And what it says is there's multiple. What it says to me is there are multiple people in this house. There are at least more than one person running around this house here. Yeah. And again, the Prime knows it, and the Hobbit, she eventually comes to know it. Eventually, I don't know when Hobbit becomes aware of this, but the Hobbit does become aware. Wait a minute, there are multiple people upstairs. Now, I'm not sure when she becomes aware of that fact, but she eventually does find that out. Now, Dylan, however, on the other hand, she already knows this. Dylan already is aware of this. She knows who these people are. She knows what's going on up there. The Hobbit doesn't. Maybe not. See, that's the thing with the Hobbit. You're just not sure with her. But at some point, the Hobbit becomes aware, wait a minute, there are at least more than one person upstairs, and they're doing whatever they're doing. She knows there are multiple people upstairs. She realizes this at some point. And again, that speaks to her answer that was cut off by Moscow Police Department in that Reno interview on 11/16. Yep. She was purposely cut off from explaining that because Moscow police did not want to follow that. They did not want her to talk about any of that. Why? Because that did not fit their lone wolf theory. Yep. By 11/16, they did not want any evidence to go against their lone wolf perpetrator theory. And that's an example of that. They cut her off. Moscow cut her off. They didn't want to hear about any possibility that there could be a more than one person involved in this crime. They made damn sure that that was not the scenario here. And that was happening as early as 11/16. Yep. So there you go, my loves. We are the greatest. But that is the truth. Yep, for sure. And once again, that topic was never revisited after that. All right. What do you think? Squawked a lot here. Squawked a lot. Walked a lot. Walked a lot. Mr. Koberger. Where, Mr. Koberger, Mr. Koberger? What is the matter with you? Mr. Koberger. Yeah. Oh, wait, guys. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, wait. I think when I saw the guy, I was like, oh, he's going to help us. Which is kind of weird. Like, that's why I wasn't too worried. Okay. But, like, it was like, why would someone be here? I don't know, Dylan. Why would somebody be there, Dylan? What do you think? Like, my mind was just, like, not making any sense. Like, everything was just, like, scrambled eggs. Like, not understanding anything. Yeah. And then, okay, hey, where's that Thorazine, guys? And I wasn't, listen, Dylan, and I want to go back a little bit. When did you become crazy? No, just to make sure I got it right. What happened to you? When did you go off the rails? When did you lose control? When you mentioned, like, yelling people's names. Yeah. Yeah, what about it? Was I yelling people's names? I don't know. Okay. What did you hear, after you said, their names? Yeah, what did you hear after you're screaming out their names, being murdered and shit? Oh, God, this again? All right. I don't think I even heard anything. Oh. Well, I thought you said you were yelling people's names out and stuff. MD, are you stupid? No. I don't think I even heard anything. All right, babies, I love you. I love you, babies. I really do. Thank you for putting up with this. It's such a pleasure to read to you. Oh, my God. Guys, I think we should have locked her up just for sheer just pissing me off in terms of not knowing how to talk. I would have locked her up for that. Yeah, I would have too, Master Nature, like Little House on the Prairie kind of fucking jail punishment. Holy crap. I put her in the fucking ice house for like 6 weeks without any food. Yeah, that's what I would do. Jesus Christ. Sorry. All right. Jesus. Like, oh my God. I want to lock you up just because you make me want to pull my fucking hair out. Because you can't talk. Why can't you talk? Jesus Christ. I mean, really? What did you hear after you said their names? Dylan, I don't think I even heard anything. Oh my God. Okay. Hey, where's that barbitol? Where's that, hey, where's that Thorazine shot? Anyway, hey, Mrs. John, did you find that Thorazine for me yet? Okay, yeah. I'm Bigfoot now. He-she. No, you're he-she. You're Thing 42. Anyway, yeah. I don't remember anything. I don't remember hearing anything at all. I'm like trying to think. Guys, I'm trying to think. All right. Don't blame me, Argentina. I'm like, I'm trying to think. It was guys, it was just like blank. All right, baby, I love you. We're at 103. Oh my, I don't know how much more I can take of this right now. My mind is blank. Everything I saw is blank. I don't know blank. Did you kill your friends, Dylan? It's just everything's blank, guys. Everything's blank. Oh my God. And were you yelling their names before you heard the crying? Were you? I have no idea, MD. Why do you keep asking me this shit? MD, fuck off. I don't give two shits about anything. I have no idea. Or after? I have no idea. Oh, okay, Dylan. Hey, don't stab me. I'm just asking questions here. Hey, Dylan, do you want to take a lie detector test?
MD, I'm gonna kill you.
Where are my knives? God damn it. Howdall, baby. Let's get some howdall, baby. Give me some fucking Thorazine, man. Oh my God. Wow. That's really bad, yeah. I'm sorry, but that's fucked up, I'll tell you what. Okay, so listen to this, guys. So you remember calling out So you remember calling out their names. So, right? So we're trying to establish this. You remember calling out their names, right, Mortensen? So think about this, guys. She's in the house. She's calling out their names. Michael Myers is coming up and down the stairs doing Michael Myers things. And she admits throughout all of this, seeing the killer at least 3 times, she's calling out their names, right? But she admits that. Yeah, I was. It was just, then she tries to qualify, guys. See, this is what she does. Yes, I was calling out their names, supposedly. However, here comes the camouflage. This is the camouflage. She always camouflages. So let's listen. Yes, I was calling out their names. That doesn't make any sense, though, does it? No, it doesn't. Remember, Mortensen is a terrible storyteller. This is the first time she's ever done anything like this, guys. And you can tell, this is a terrible story. So every time she gives you a little bit, she's going to try to camouflage. Yeah. However, it was just, this is the qualifier. So you remember calling out their names. Yeah, it was, didn't hear anything. That's not a question. That's not a good question. Yeah, it was just Kaylee's and Xana's voices, though, that she called out, though. Not the others. Just Kaylee and Xana's, though. Okay, right? Okay. I don't know why I was just calling their names out, though. Huh. Yeah, I think that's important. I think that's very important. I don't know, Dylan Mortensen. Why don't you tell us why you were just calling their names out and you forgot the other two? That's a great question, Miss Mortensen. She asks a lot of good questions, doesn't she? That's another thing with Miss Mortensen here. She asks a lot of good questions that they should be asking her. Yeah. Isn't that strange? But she does this in every interview as well. She will ask a question that, yes, we should be asking you. Because why? First of all, because she has all the information that you need to know. She has it. And she's almost telling you, you're not asking me the right questions here. She's giving you some good questions to ask her. But they don't. Yeah. This is your psychotic prime. She is the psychotic prime, guys. She always will be the psychotic prime, guys. Not completely psychotic, don't get me wrong. But there's psychosis going on with her. She's not completely out of her mind, don't get me wrong. She still has faculties. She does. She still has her faculties. I'm just saying. This is a different... there's psychosis here. But this is, again, with Dylan, this is more personality-based. That's where her problems lie. Anyway... So I was just calling out Kaylee and Xana's name, right? Which is strange. And she says that. Isn't that weird that I was just calling out their names only? Yes, that is weird, Dylan. Right? Right? So you just remember so we're not probing. We just asked the same fucking question we just asked. Listen, so Aaron asked the same question. So you just remember calling out Kaylee and Xana's name? Yeah. I just told you that. So you remember calling out their names? Yeah. Just Kaylee and Xana's, though. Okay. I don't know why I was just calling out their names. So you just remember calling out their names? Yeah. I just fucking told you. Oh, my God, guys. Okay. Tell me about that. Oh, my God. Dylan, well, what would you like to know? Do you want to hear the Cat in the Hat story? Or do you want to hear about the fireman again? Which story do you want me to tell you? I'm getting confused here, guys. I'm getting confused between the Cat in the Hat and the fucking fireman. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you at this point? Tell me about that. No. With Mortensen, you need to be very specific. You need to pin her down. You don't give her open-ended questions like this. You don't say, well, tell me about that. Because Miss Mortensen is going to give you the exact same bullshit she's been giving you now for the past 3 interviews. Okay, don't do this. Don't give Miss Mortensen any more open-ended questions. She'll fill those questions. Like, I don't know, I don't know. Well, possibly, yes, but I thought, but then I didn't think, Yes, she'll fill that. So listen, of course, I thought it was Kaylee in the bathroom, but I was worried about, here we go. I was just thinking, what if I believed it was Kaylee at the time, but I also knew Xana's room was over there, so I was calling, I think when I was trying to wake up Xana, from my room, have her get up so she could understand what was going on, because I didn't understand what was going on. And then again, I don't know for sure. Camouflage. I don't know what my mind was thinking, camouflage, over and over and over and over again. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Inbred Moscow, inbred fucking Idaho State Police. This is absurd, ridiculous. I mean, now we're going to, I'm trying to wake up Xana, from my room. Oh, where the fuck did that come from? Now all of a sudden, we're trying to wake Xana up by standing in my room, right? And trying to wake her up, guys. By doing what? I'm yelling out her name, I guess. But guys, remember, I'm not freaked out at all by anything here, guys. Guys, remember, I'm not freaked out by anything. I'm not scared. And I'm not worried. Because I know who's in the house. I know what they're doing. And I know as soon as I get down to the Hobbit's room, they're going to do the rest of what they're going to do up there. And I'm going to stay right here for 8 hours and try to play it off like I don't know what's going on at all in this situation. And that's exactly what I'm doing, Miss Dylan Mortensen. You are Dylan Mortensen. You are my prime. That is what you're doing here. Yes, that is, in my opinion, that is what you're doing, Miss Prime. Yes, because your story is all dog shit. You're not hallucinating. You're not dreaming. This is all camouflage. You're lying throughout every interview that you've given. You have lied over and over again. And the only conditions that would meet an exception to this is if you have suffered some sort of brain trauma where you have a gigantic lapse in memory for 8 hours plus. You're not in any trauma. So yeah, there's no other explanation here. There's no other explanation. Dylan knows exactly what's going on. Once she decided that she had to go down to the Hobbit's room, it made sense. She already knew that she had to stay there and keep cool until it got to the next day, and then we got to figure out what to do after this point. Sometimes she follows Bethany's lead because you could say Bethany doesn't know exactly what's happening here. So she's also playing off of that. Mortensen is also playing off of Bethany's ignorance here. So this is a game. So it's like Dylan knows what she has to do for the next 8 hours. As long as she kind of knows what Bethany's doing and what her thinking is and what she wants to do, she's going to play along with all of that. That's what Mortensen did in this case. Yep. That's my opinion. Because this is absolutely dog shit. This is complete and utter dog shit. There is no semblance of logic at all in this. There is no semblance of looking at an accurate crime scene. She is making this is 99% of what she's telling you. She's making it up. It doesn't fit the crime scene. It doesn't fit what happened in this house. She was standing in the middle of the crime scene, and she's reporting all the facts wrong. The only way that works is if she's a participant in the murders. That's the only way this works. Again, unless she's some sort of fucking retard, or she suffered some brain trauma during this night that she doesn't remember. Like some serious brain trauma. That's going to wipe your memory out for a good portion of everything. It's not happening. Nope. Anyway, hope you like this one, guys. I think, do we chisel away more at the wall? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But that's not up. That's up to these other people, right? I love you. Bigfoot. Hey, don't forget Bigfoot. Big shoe size for Bigfoot. Big shoe size for Bigfoot. Right, hey, right outside her door. Can you believe that? Gee, nah. I mean, why would there be a latent shoe print right outside her door? Oh, I don't know. Gee, I don't know. Moscow, why would that be? I don't know. Who knows? It's a mystery. It's a complete mystery why that would be there. I don't know. Gee, based on everything that Dylan's told us so far, I don't know why there would be a footprint there. I have no idea. Oh my God. Oh Lord, help me. Help me, Jesus. Hey, listen. Listen. Look, I don't got time for this. Do you have time for this? Now, come on now. Come on, listen. Now, listen.
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop.
All right, baby.
Then I thought somebody was barbecuing.
That's right.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
That's right, there's a fire, baby.
Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right.
According to the apartment manager, the fire started.
That's right, baby. Who has time for a fire? Anyway. Oh, my God. I'm surprised I'm surprised the dame didn't say it. I'm surprised the prime didn't say that. And I got bronchitis, too. Would you fucking believe it? Hey, but Dylan, there was no fire. Well, that's weird. I could have sworn I had bronchitis. I don't know. Maybe I was dreaming that, guy. I dreamt that I had bronchitis, guys. Okay? Can you lay off me? All right? Hey, just don't lock me up, okay? I had nothing to do with the crime, all right? Even though everything I told you is complete bullshit and dog shit. But hey, whatever. I don't want bronchitis, all right? Don't give me fucking bronchitis. I don't give two shits about what you find. As long as I don't get bronchitis, I really don't care what happens here. I really don't. Yeah. Pretty much. Obviously. Yeah, that's right, Dame. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, my God. All right, we should go. We should pick it up tomorrow. Yes, we should. We should pick it up tomorrow. But how should we go? But how is the question? I don't know. Well, maybe this. Hang on. Maybe this. Can't play too much. All right, we'll do the 75. We'll do 75. Come on now. That's right. Here we go, baby. Hey, hang on. That's right. Did we watch this a little bit? Yeah, we saw this. That's right, baby. That's right. Slick again, baby. Hey, you Dame Celestine. Let's go. We dance away, baby. Dance away. Tell me, baby. That's right, baby. That's right. Hang on.